Hello. Why are we the only ones here? Is anyone here? Oh, Brittany, I think is the I'm more like a guest speaker, I guess. Let me check the I think it's supposed to be Brittany. I thought we're all meeting using this link, but maybe it's not this link, I guess.
Hey, Sanjona, how's it going?
It's going well. Am I in the wrong place?
No, for the brick panel?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the right place. I think Brittany's on the way, and I'm not part of it. I was just here to open the link because I have a licensed account. But I made you co-host, so as people come in, you could let them in. But eventually, I'll make Brittany co-host as well, and I think she should be here shortly.
All right.
Cool, cool. How are you doing otherwise? How are things been?
Uh, it's going well. I just class and then I'm working part-time and then doing internship. So it's kind of busy.
Oh, very exciting. Yeah, that is very, very busy.
Yeah, but it's going well.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I've been doing this so the part-time job I do is like cashier and it's freaking me out. Customer service. I don't like it at all.
Oh, are you dealing with a lot of people while you're doing
Yeah.
that? Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's very
Um,
it's difficult.
yeah.
I've never done customer service, but I used to work retail, and that was dealing with people a lot, and that was very difficult. I used to work at Old Navy.
Oh, really? I work in TJ Maxx.
Oh, okay, got it, got it. So I understand the same exact frustration.
Yeah. I just hope they remove me from like cashier position to like floor duty, organizing, fighting like stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I always like when they put me in the stock room and I could just
yeah.
like take out, stock and fold t-shirts and stuff like that instead of dealing with people.
Yeah. I hope they do that.
I will be right back. I'll probably be back at 5:45. I think that's when Brittany, I think Melly's coming at 6, but if anyone comes in, you should be able to let them in.
All right.
All right, see you in a few minutes.
All right.
Hey, hey, how's it going?
Hey, Brittany, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad.
Hey,
Uh,
Sanjona.
so,
Hello.
so Brittany, I'm making you and Sanjona co-hosts.
Okay. All right,
Um,
cool.
so I'm doing that now. Y'all should both be able to admit people. I'll stay on probably like till panel starts at 6.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, got it. Yeah, sorry. They asked me to open this link recently, so I'm getting up to speed on what's going on through your group chat. So it starts at 6. I'll probably be here in the background till 6:10. Um, Pay me no mind because I've got kids running around behind me. But I'll be here just in case something goes wrong. But you guys should test everything out and all that. And then at some point I'll probably step away, but I'll still be in the room. I think one of the reasons
Hmm.
they wanted me to do this was because if you want to do a full hour, Ava, sorry, that's my daughter. If
No,
you
you're
if you
fine.
want to do a full hour, it requires someone with a full license, which would be me. So my face will be here, and I'll be here in spirit, but I'll be running around and taking care of kids.
Got you, got you.
All
Yeah,
right,
no,
cool.
I was just filling out this script because I'm just like, oh, I'm so nervous. I hope I can like we can make it like actually span out to a full hour.
Oh no,
Like,
you guys rock. You guys will both of you are amazing. You're gonna totally have fun and have a blast. I know that feeling though of getting worried about making it fill the whole hour. But if you guys just talk and make it casual, it'll fill an hour easily.
okay. All right,
All right,
got it.
I'm gonna step away for 10 minutes and then I'll be back.
All right, cool. Later. But yeah, hey Sanjona, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Um, yeah, I've been like recently doing like this part-time job in TJ Maxx, and they put me as
Mhm.
cashier. I do it on the weekends, and customer service is so hard. Like you have to face people every day, and they're different types of people. It's
Yes.
been weird. I wish they just put me on the floor, just organizing stuff instead of cashier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some people with different attitudes. I don't know. You're
Yeah.
strong. You're strong. But you got this.
I hope, but it's fine. It should be fine. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, question. Did you want to add any like questions that because I only wrote 4 questions. I didn't know if you thought like there should be any other questions or if you had any in mind, because yeah.
I thought those were very great questions. Um, I can't really think of any other. Mm, yeah, I feel like these are already so great questions.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, cool. Yeah, I just was running through and I was thinking like each of us could do like I have the creed right here beside me. So I'll just pull it up on screen and share my
Mhm.
screen for like that for just for that part and then I'll take it off. But for the creed, I was thinking since it's only 6, each of us could read 2.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so can break it up. And then after and then I was going to ask, I know like when they do like the incentive events, they do like the type of openers and closing type activities. Did you guys want to incorporate that?
Yeah, I think it's fun. We could do that.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let me see. So what kind of opening activities is it? It's usually like today's group, if you were to design the main character of a story in this moment, what is one quality you would want them to have? And then a closing one was, please share a word or phrase describing something you will take with you from today's session. Okay, so for the opening, what do you think? What kind of opening should we should we have today?
Um, so last time when I was in a panel, what we did was like we would ask, uh, what is your mood right now? Or if your mood was a color, what color it would be, something like that. And
Okay.
then there's a app or like a link to a website where people can submit their word. And after
Mm-hmm.
everything's done, the words would like show together uh,
Right,
on screen. Um,
right.
we, we could do something like that.
Do you know what that website is? I don't know what that website is, but
Mm,
all
but I
right,
could
then oh yeah,
search.
if you're able to find it, cool, we can quickly throw it in. If you're not, I was just gonna say we'll just have people say it. We'll just say like comment below or something like that and read off some stuff. And we can have that go for like what, the first five, maybe less than 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I don't know how long it should take. We should give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it will be around that.
Okay, 5 minutes. All right, so it's so let me put that in there. Hi, welcome. Da, 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 da. For those who don't know, tap existing equity gap. Uh, equity gap. Uh, now before
Oh,
we begin, we
maybe
use.
it could be this website. Oh, sorry about that.
You're okay. I'm just editing the script. Now, before we begin, we usually open with an an activity or question just to get everyone's to just now before we begin, we usually open with an activity or question. And today's question is, if you said if your mood was a color, what color would it be?
Yeah, right now, this moment.
Okay. Now, before we begin, we usually we you now before we begin, we usually open with an activity or question. And today's question is, if your mood was a color, what color would it be in this very moment, in this moment? Comment, let me just write this before I forget to say it. Comment down below. Well, in this case, we'll use the link. So let me look at the link. Create a word cloud with the audience, poll everywhere, visualize opinions with a word cloud powered by live feedback. Try it free. Oh, hello.
Do you have to
Uh,
like, is it
it
free?
says it says oh, I'm gonna try it free. I won't pay for this, but um, select the kind of work you do. Can it just give me the thing? Remote meetings, get started. No, I'll just say other. All right, get started. Recommend the type of activity for you. Uh, how do I do this? Okay, hold on. How can people respond? Fudge, I mean, uh, color of your mood will be the title. And then say, can I, What in the flying flickety flicks? All right, I'm gonna send this. I don't know how to send this actually.
Is it not
What-
working?
I'm trying to get like a link. It and let me show my screen. Uh,
Hmm.
share. It's I'm seeing this. I
So,
how do I get? How do I? They just have to
hmm,
type that in. Isn't there like a link? Oh wait, hold on. I think
yeah,
this is
there
it.
should be a link. Yeah, that's
All right.
probably it.
Tell me if this works. I'm about to send it to you.
Okay, I'll type something.
Oh, flip. That is not. It did not come up as a link. Hold on. Why? Let me. Hold on. Oh, it's, this is so annoying. Let me see if I can create it as a link in the Google Doc first, and then I will. Oh, here it is. I got it. All right. I'm sending it, resending it to you now.
Okay.
Please work. Okay.
Okay. Wait, it's saying the presentation waiting for your presentation to begin. What does it mean? This is so confusing.
What in the world? Yo, what the heck?
Is it
Uh,
locked or something? It is unlocked. Why is it doing
y-
this?
yeah, I just relocked and locked and unlocked it again to see if it would open for you. Does it work now if you reload the page?
It's still giving me like, wait, I'll show you. It's giving me this message. Maybe you have to click on present or something.
Oh, okay. Present. Oh, no. That
I
just
guess
made
you
my
have to
screen
keep
bigger.
being on
Let's
that
act
screen or something. I don't know.
let's activate. Gather responses without presenting your activity in
Cool,
Oh,
full
Gabby.
screen.
I got it.
Are you guys
Let
doing
me see.
polls?
Yeah.
Very
Ah,
cool.
okay.
Do you guys just get it to work?
Cool. Yeah, because it was
Nice.
not working.
Oh, got it, got it. Well, that's why we meet early. Awesome, awesome work. It's always scary when it doesn't work out right before it starts. I had a
Yeah.
question, which is okay. You have the creed I see there. Is there anything you need from me on my end before this starts?
Okay, so quick question. So I put it I just took a copy of like our old scripts, but is so when people come in, do I have to set anything in terms of webinar format, Q&A stuff?
I don't think so because it's. I mean, this is. I'm not sure what that would entail. Since I think you're just presenting your screen to them. Is that what you're doing?
No, I was saying for like I wasn't sure how it was supposed to be, how this was supposed to be set up. Like when participants come in, are their videos going to come up as well, or is it just going to be us and then they're going to be like how it's just like us on video and then the rest of the participants are there, but they're not like on video. I don't know if that
That
makes sense.
Yeah, no. I hear what you're saying because there's like a webinar feature. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how this was set up for this panel specifically. There is a way you could do that. I've never done it before. But what
Okay.
I so I'm not sure how like what you talked to Steph about in terms of that. It seems like it's just going to be people in gallery view in the room with you guys, and you're talking, and whatever you present when you share screen will be whatever you show. But if you're doing panels with the links, uh, that's cool too. But I don't think it's going to be in that webinar format. In the past, we have done that, and I know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're seeing that on the scripts. That's like a very specific thing where we're having like Q&As, and it's like it's all someone used to do tech for that. Usually it was Ellen Smittle. But for this, I mean, what did you talk to Steph about doing with this?
Honestly, we didn't really talk about the whole how the format would be set up for a Zoom. It was just like more like allowing people in and doing a Q&A
Oh,
section part of this.
got it. Yeah, I mean, so what I would say is, yeah, I would just treat it like it's an open Zoom, like you're sort of like everyone's in the gallery view and you're talking to them.
Okay.
And yeah, I just you don't because there is the Q&A feature. It's a little bit more involved. It requires actually quite a few people to like field the questions. This sounds like
Mm,
it's a lot more open and it's just you guys in a room, which I think in
okay.
certain respects, depending on how many people you get, is pretty straightforward. If it's a lot of people, maybe I don't
Hmm.
know, you could decide who takes questions and ask people to post them in the chat, and then you can go one by one. Um, yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I was just confused. I was like, uh, that's why I wanted to just get here as early as possible because I just didn't want any mishaps to go on. And if we had to set anything technical, I was like, all right, I want to get here as early as possible so everything technical can be out of the way. And then we can just focus on worrying about, I guess, like what we're going to end up saying during the actual
gotcha.
event.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, this is what it's for. So it's six p.m. now. I'll be in the background. I'll be with my camera and my audio off, and I guess people will trickle in, and you can let them in. I'll stay on just for any technical things for like the first 10 minutes, and then once it's going, yeah, it's all you, and good luck.
All
Break a
right,
leg.
sounds great. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, so cool. So we have that. Okay, admit. Oh, did I admit? I'm not sure if I did that right. Did I
It
did
seems
I
like
press
he
decline or
went
something?
away for a second. Is that what you're?
Uh, I'm so
Are you
confused.
are
Oh,
you able? Oh yeah, you're able to let them in. Okay, cool.
okay, because yeah, I was pressing admit and it wasn't happening. I was, oh,
All right, very cool. Have fun.
all right, thank you. Alrighty. Okay, cool. People are coming in. Hello, hello. We will wait a few minutes and then we'll get the show on the road. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes and we'll get this show on the road. Thank you for being patient. How's everyone feeling? Hope everyone's well.
Great, thank you.
Great to hear, great to hear.
Feeling good.
Hey, Melly.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Okay, I see you popping out. All right, cool. All right, actually, why don't we go ahead and get started? So, hello, everyone, and welcome on behalf of Made in New York Animation Project. My name is Brittany Robinson. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I will be one of your hosts for today's event. Today's events group is scheduled to run from 6 to 7 p.m. for those who aren't familiar with the animation project, we are a nonprofit therapy, education, and workforce development program and offer these training programs for people ages 17 to 24. With few opportunities immersed with focusing on training, industry standard programs, and workforce guidance, TAP aims to help bridge the existing equity gap. Now, before we begin, we usually open with an activity or question. And today's question is, if your mood was a color, what color would it be? And I'm going to share a quick link. And you guys can just type what your mood would be into that link. And I will actually pull up a screen. Give me 1 second.
Brittany, I think you're muted.
Thank you. See, you're gonna end up talking to myself. Okay, let me share this screen so then we can start. Alrighty, so we have some colors coming in. All right. We have blue, an overwhelming blue, orange, lavender, magic, it's supposed to be magic green or magic, I hope that's with magic green. Nature, baby purple. Okay, okay. Now, is this blue supposed to be a sad blue or like a mellow blue?
It's a mix of things, I would say, because blue in general, like I looked up the science behind the color. It has a lot of different meanings, but it's my favorite color actually. And it's funny because it's considered a professional color. It's a calming color, so that's why I went with blue.
I felt that. I felt that. Blue is also my favorite color. Aquamarine blue, specifically. But
Cool.
yeah. Anyone else want to explain why they picked the color they picked? Orange, okay. No, no takers? Hold on. Black and white TV noise, yellow.
I could say why I actually chose blue because I feel like
Okay.
sometimes it feels like melancholic, like not happy or sad, kind of in the middle. So I chose blue.
Gotcha. That's understandable. Rebecca says yellow because in a good way. Oh, because some people don't like yellow. I think a yellow is a very good color. Like, summer colors. I think they pop.
The primary color. You can't make colors without yellow or blue, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I just put black and white TV noise because there's been too many panels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
maybe too much going on.
No, the black and white TV noise, to be honest, I used to just, when I was younger, I would sit in front of a TV screen, like the old TVs with the antennas. Maybe I'm a little too old. But yeah, no, that reminds me of childhood. All right. So I am going to moving on to the next thing. and into our event, what you guys are all here for. So, let me get this up. So I'm thrilled to have this opportunity to be here today with everyone, and as well as with my fellow panelists and fellow alums of the animation project. I'm going to actually leave the floor open for them to introduce themselves.
Would you like to go first, Angela?
I think you can go, Millie.
I put myself on the spot. It's okay. We gotta talk anyway, regardless. Hi, my name is Melly. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I was part of TAP's virtual internship program, class of 2021. Currently, I'm a teaching artist, but I do a whole bunch of different types of visual arts, and that is me. So I'm gonna pass it off to Sanjona.
I'm Sanjona. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a junior at Hunter College, studying media, focusing in documentary studies. Right now, I'm just juggling a lot of things, internship, studies, and part-time jobs, etc., etc. But doing great overall.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And I'm pretty sure everyone is excited to hear more of your guys' time in TAP and what you guys are doing now, what you guys plan to do going forward. But before we do get into that, I would just like to start off with what we always start off with within every single TAP event or class or anything like that. TAP's creed, which is a very important thing to start off with, as it's to establish the rules of this space, because the space is supposed to be a safe space and what is expected in this space, and to respect each other as we share this creative space together. So I can quickly start us off with that, and then we will get right on. All right. Okay, so starting with number one, we show up. We aim for 100% attendance. We arrive on time and on virtual days. We keep our cameras on for the full duration of the group. We live up to the same expectations virtually and in person. We focus. We have a lot of work to do. We remain engaged during the entire lesson. We do our best to limit distractions around us. Shanjona or Melly, would you like to continue on?
I could read number 3. We communicate. We notify TAP staff directly of planned absences and or latenesses. On virtual days, we mute ourselves when we're not speaking. If we cannot keep our cameras or microphones on for a time, we communicate in the chat with our colleagues. Number 4, we are a team. We embody and promote teamwork. We are supportive of one another. We offer and receive constructive feedback that pushes us to perform at our best. And I will give this to Melly.
Hey, number 5, we participate. We speak up and we listen to our team. We ask for help when we need it. Number 6, we are professional. We treat this space as a work environment and each other as colleagues. We model TAP's mission and organizational values, transparency, collaboration, support, growth, and development.
Yeah, so this is the TAP's creed, that is something that's very important to TAP and the animation project and who we are, and just what we try to carry through into every single event and class that we participate in. So starting off, let's get into the actual questions of why we're here. So how did y'all get involved with TAP and hear about it?
Melly, would you like to go or should I?
It's up to you. I feel like you can go,
Alright.
and then we can take
So I learned about TAP through an event that was going on in summer before Corona started, and it was just a week, like a summer camp type of thing, but it was virtual. it was also paid. They paid us $500, which is a lot of money. Uh, anyways, after that, I got connected with them. I shared my email with them, and they emailed me about this virtual program. So it was called Virtual Intensive Program, and we basically created um, small animated film, and it took a lot of hard work because we were fully online in the middle of quarantine, and each of us were from different age groups, and we basically some of us learned from scratch. We didn't have to know anything beforehand, so that's how I got to know TAP. And after that, virtual intensive program that ran 9 months, I got another internship, which was a production assistant internship. And this time I got the opportunity to build a show with my teammates, including Melly. We created this show called Animated Life with Tab, and it had a lot of episodes, which were it was open to, like, we could host it, we could edit it, we could basically whatever we wanted to put in that show we did. And it was a great show, and we loved working on it. I also worked as production coordinator in that show, so that's my journey with TAP. And Melly, you could go ahead now.
Yeah, sorry, I just realized I was muted. So yeah, like Sandra Jones said, we were part of the same cohort. With me, I actually found out about TAP through Instagram. It was I think it was around May or June of 2020, because like, just randomly scrolling, and I noticed a friend from college shared that this program, they had the neon program with TAP for the summer. So I applied, but then I realized I wasn't part of one of the neighborhoods in Brooklyn that qualified. But however, another friend of mine was able to join, and after that, when he finished the summer program, he told me that they had a cohort that was starting practically the equivalent of a school year, where it started from October all the way until June. Yeah, June, and then yeah, no, July of 2021. So from there, we were split into two different cohorts. I was in one of the cohorts. Practically, I'll say it's the equivalent of pre-production when it comes to animation. So that was more of the modeling, the rigging, animation portion. And from there, I realized, okay, in terms of 3D animation, I was more into 3D modeling, but it was very cool with TAP how we were able, after the fact, to still maintain connections. So from there, just like Sanjona, I had what you called alumni internships. I did two different roles. So from September to December, I was the community relations intern, and that's practically a social media coordinator for TAP. So I was in charge of designing flyers, looking at events, figuring out different ways of promo, and I directly worked with Steph, who's the community relations intern. And then after that, actually Sanjona and I were part of this series called Animated Life with TAP. So TAP was collaborating with BronxNet TV, and from there, every month, we'll have a collection of episodes for 30 minutes that will air every Saturday morning. So my job in terms of that was I was the media and design coordinator there. So I would be in charge more so of figuring out ways to promote the TV show. And so it kind of was a mix of the previous role, but also more on the lines of film production, editing, because yeah, I would edit trailers and then also do voiceovers for the trailers. So it was very fun and cool just being a part of different avenues of TAP, like not just doing the intensive training, but also doing work with them and figuring out practically how to incorporate other artistic avenues besides, because like with fields like animation is so broad that you could connect to things like film, cartooning, writing, and so on. So yeah, it was a pleasure being part of TAP's whole,
You went out there for a little bit because I saw you went on mute, but
Oh, it was an accident. But yeah, it was fun just being a part of the whole TAP team, working alongside them and having this journey with them to be able to do 3 different roles.
Got you. Yeah, no, I felt that similarly. I mean, I found TAP online. That, well, I guess you could say I could also heard about them through social media, heard about them through LinkedIn, through RealWorks, but I also heard about TAP because I was sitting here at my computer Googling animation apprenticeship, anything in animation. Like, I just want a job in animation. So TAP ended up coming up, and so I took my chances, applied to their fundamentals of animation training program, where I learned 3D modeling, which honestly, you would think it would be easy by just looking at it. But when you actually get into working with the software, I was like, oh, okay, this is what it is. And you really kind of get, I guess, introduced to the industry and what software they use, because in the industry for 3D modeling, people could use like Cinema 4D, Maya, and I know Blender, which is free, is starting to come up. So yeah, that's how kind of I got it, learned about TAP and went through the whole applying, went through the interview process, and thankfully found out that I got in. And so from, what was it, January to June, that was my cohort of last year. So yeah. But along the lines of learning and wanting to be, I guess, an animator or just breaking into the industry, a lot of people say that art school or college is mandatory to break into the industry, or it should be a standard or something like that. And I just personally, I don't really believe that saying. So I just wanted to get your guys' insight and also other opportunities that you could share for the people here to know how to get into the industry, how to network to even be in this industry, and how many different jobs or pathways they can take.
I could go first. So personally, I feel like as an artist that you do not necessarily have to go to college. It is beneficial in the sense where people think of only college as academics, but I think a huge part of college is networking, finding connections, and it's in a sense compared to grade school, you're able to branch out, be more independent, and then there's so many ways to network in the sense where you have job fairs that come on campus, you have your professors, then you also have the clubs on campus. But however, there's other avenues such as trade schools. There are programs such as TAPS where it's like specifically concentrated in one industry. So like if you know you want to be a 3D modeler, for instance, or rigger, like it may be beneficial to start at programs like these first, especially where you're able to connect with so TAP collaborates with a lot of different programs throughout the city. So you have chances to network with other companies. Also, too, you have the chance to just directly focus on one study, whereas in college, you have to still do cores and even flexible cores where it may not be connected necessarily to what you want to study. I would say even too, working in education, I've seen a lot of staff work there, and even myself, like even though I have 2 degrees, I actually did an entry level job as a group leader last year because part of that was just, the competitive nature of finding work, especially as somebody who studied media. I studied film and communications and graduated. I graduated the semester before the pandemic started. So it was very competitive. However, I've noticed as an artist that education is actually a pretty friendly way to just enter. And like there are roles where you may not necessarily need a college degree, but from there you can still work your way up as say an assistant director of a program. And so I feel like overall it's good. College is a good option and it's beneficial in one way, but at the same time, there's many ways artists can grow and connect and find work because art as a whole, I feel like operates different than like, your standard 9 to 5 work or other industries. Like art as a whole is just so much industries there's so much disciplines where they can't even compare to some of them. Like I came in with TAP with different knowledge of other visual art fields, but like animation was still, I'll be honest, it still was a challenge. And that's just because they all operate differently, you know, they can connect in different ways, but also at the same time be a little distinctive. So I would say, yeah, as creatives, definitely look into like different sources of how you can educate yourself as an artist, but also to gain connections.
I agree with a lot of point that Melly said. I also think that college is not necessary, but helpful in many ways. It could be helpful. I think college is more important in like as a resource more than the degree you get from it, because while you are in college, you are basically finding out a lot of things you don't like, and you're crossing it out from your list. And what's helpful in college is that you get a lot of equipments, you get a lot of access to softwares as a college student. And I know some of them are free, but a lot of professionally used the softwares that you use professionally, you have to pay for it. Um, so you get that for free as a student. And also you get a community, because it's really hard to um, get to like a career point where you're satisfied with yourself without a community, and it's harder to find that path on your own. But it's college is also not necessary. Like you can drop out at any point, and if you have a portfolio, then you'll be good. Like if you haven't graduated it, but you have worked, you have some work you can show someone, then you don't have to continue college, because no one will actually see what GPA you got, but or what degree you got. It's just what you've made, your experience. So I would say like internships are more important because they're so intense and focused on a subject, and you also get something out of it. For example, when I was working with TAP, I got to be part of a show, Animated Life with TAP, and I also got to be an composer editor of our thesis film. So that's what I got out of that internship. So I would say that look for all these internships, try to talk to a lot of people. Don't hesitate to ask if there's open entry for any role or any position, if there's upcoming position. um, the internship I'm doing right now is at RealWorks, and the way I got to know them is through the animation project. So you kind of have to like a snake, you just go through all the people and then find a, you know, that snake game, you go like this and then you eat, and then but don't eat yourself, you know, like don't get too twisted in like, oh, I gotta be nice to everyone, I have to please everyone. That's basically you're gonna get too exhausted. So it's yeah, I don't know where I'm going on with this, but I think you get me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You mentioned something very important, which was portfolios. Uh, just speaking from experience personally, just like me personally, my college degree was not needed in order to get into the industry. It did not help to get in the industry. What a lot of things that helped me get into the industry. I mean, I worked as an assistant editor and now I currently work as an editor. But what helped me get into the industry was networking, going around and on Facebook groups. There's so many different Facebook groups that you can join. I mean, particularly I work in film, but film or even animation, or even getting involved in programs like the animation project, because the animation project will put you in contact with so many other different programs and other different opportunities, from media makers to RealWorks to, you know, any other programs that can, the Harbor, which if you wanted to get in contact to be a colorist, like there's so many different ways to break into so many different parts of the industry as creatives. But what people want to see is, one, if you have the drive, if you being positive and being like ready to put yourself out there, because closed mouths don't get fed. So putting yourself out there and actually having a portfolio, because there have been so many times where I have gone out and I'm like, okay, yeah, I went to school for art. Okay, but then they're like, well, not art. I went to school for political science, but they're like, okay, Pat, do you have a portfolio? And I'm like, I did this 2 times. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, oh crap. I don't have a portfolio. I don't have a portfolio, but then I started creating one, showing it. And that's how I started landing jobs or small gigs and stuff like that. Or even sometimes I'll take a role that I didn't necessarily want, like a production assistant, because you're lifting heavy stuff and running coffee and doing stuff. But don't knock being a production assistant, or don't knock being an animated 3D modeling assistant or something like that, because that gives you the opportunity to be in the industry, learn from people above you, and to continue asking questions, because then one day you will get your chance to actually sit there and do what that person is doing. So it's truly about connections, building a portfolio, and speaking up and putting yourself out there, and joining groups. Even if work at, on weekends, I work at a camera rental, production rental place. And I just tell them, they're like, hey, what do you want to do in the future? I say, oh, hey, this is what I'm interested in. And lo and behold, sometimes opportunities come my way where they're like, hey, are you open to work? I want to throw your name in the hat for this TV show, or da 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 da. So, you know, just let people know what you want to do. Let people know what you're interested in. Don't be scared. Even if you feel like you might not be like the top professional with 10 plus years experience, as long as you're willing to learn and grow and to keep doing what you're doing, then you'll be fine. That's my honest opinion, and it's worked for me, so it'll work for you. And if animation is something that you're truly passionate about and something you want to get into, the animation project is a great opportunity and a great place to start if you have if you don't know where to start. And they also allow you to use their Maya software, which is the 3D modeling software. Because let me tell you, I don't have $4,000 to spend on no Maya software. Sorry. And I'm not a college student, so I don't have the opportunity to use my college ID to get that software either. So they gave me a link where I was able to download the software for free and use it to 3D model my scene and learn the software. So now I can go to people and say, yeah, I have the basic foundation. Here's what I've made. So yeah. But yeah, sorry, I feel like, oh shit.
It's okay. You mentioning portfolio, just I wanted to add that TAP is a perfect place to help you build your portfolio, and not just specifically animation. Like, just like Brittany, I have a film background as well, but ended up graduating with a screenwriting degree. And if you know, screenwriting is writing, so it's like I don't have necessarily a reel per se, unless you do some film production classes, or if your script wasn't somebody's film. So like it was a good way for me to add things to my reel by, you know, contributing as a 3D modeler. I was also a 2D illustrator, because I had like one of my designs was actually in our thesis film. Like I forgot how they did it, but like somebody insert the file, because like I said, I was more of the pre-production side of the cohort, but also to even do covers and edits, like that also adds content to my reel. So it's a good way for people in industries that's very similar to animation, like a lot of media fields, like say computer science, like say you study computer science or cartooning, like those things can overlap still with animation. So it allows you to diversify your portfolio in a way and say, oh, yeah, I'm not just this, but I've also can do this, that, and the third. Oh, actually, I see a question. Actually, there was a intern who was part of our cohort who was in Jersey. So if I'm not mistaken, it may depend on like if you're near New York, but yeah, I'm not too sure. But I think that's the answer to the question that's in the chat.
Thanks for answering that. Yeah, I thought it was, okay, so since you said someone from your cohort was from New Jersey, I know it was limited to the 5 boroughs, but I'm pretty sure if it's close, like New Jersey or something like that, you possibly, most likely, especially if it's like one of our online training programs, uh, it's most definitely. So, yeah. So I hope that answers the question. But on to the next thing about TAP, or just TAP in general. Considering TAP and what we do, while they prepare for creatives for the media and animation industries through training, readiness, mentorship, and development, they also focus on mental health therapy and like dance therapy and different forms of therapy. So can you guys like probably elaborate on that? Just to add on.
Sanjana, are you going? Okay.
Okay. Um, yeah, so in like the mental health, the way TAP helped me with my mental health, and the way they're therapeutic is that um they really make that safe, like open space for you to share your feelings, and it's never like work work work, you have to get your work done. It's a lot of if you're in a meeting, like how are you feeling today, what did you do, what are your goals for tomorrow, or what are you cooking, like just everyday normal things that people do, bringing all those normal stuff so we feel humanized when we're working, not like robots or cogs in a machine. um and I got the opportunity to meet a lot of incredible mentors. I call them mentors. They were because they were really helpful when I was in the middle of Corona, stuck in my home, and was very confused about my future. Um, if anytime I felt like I needed help with that, or just needed to talk with someone about my career, I just emailed them, and they would just schedule a meeting, and we would talk about it. And I think the way they humanized every like work day, every internship day, that just made me want to be in the community more. Which is why I'm still connected with them till this day. And I still, if I have any questions, if there's an event, I always reach out to them, and they reach out to me. So I think that they also taught me what is the importance of a positive work environment, what you should expect from your supervisor, what they should expect from you, how to say no. In the beginning, I was a scaredy cat. I wanted to please everyone, and I just didn't. I just couldn't say no. I just did everything anyone asked me to do, but they taught me what a positive, like safe work environment is. So I'm really grateful for that, for TAB. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree. Safe work environment, and specifically with the cohorts, the virtual intensive training. What I really liked that TAP did is that not only are you learning with the internship, okay, specifically how to do 3D animation or 3D modeling, rigging, compositing, you're also getting access to therapy. So they have creative arts therapists who they assigned us to. And the thing is, it was optional too. Like you didn't necessarily have to do it, but I think a lot of us did, including myself, because like I said, if we were part of the class of 2021, so this was during the pandemic, a lot of things were shut down, and this was actually my first time doing a virtual class ever. Like I never did it from grade school or college, so it was a learning challenge in terms of like figuring out how to adapt to remote. However, like both our instructors as well as the creative arts therapists who were also in the classes that we had every week, well bi-week, well twice a week, sorry. They were able to like allow us to honestly be transparent with them. Like, you know, if we're struggling with something, like I felt comfortable opening up to my instructor saying, hey, I can you repeat this step again? I'm not too sure how to do it. And they'll show you. And with the creative arts therapist, like Sandra Jones said, they will always do check-ins, and it will be simple questions where like, you know, how's your day? What color is your, like, you described the mood kind of like what we did earlier. And it's like simple questions like that that can actually help change your mindset. Like say if you're having a bad day, but just doing check-ins with the group, even with, like I said, there's multiple people in the cohort. So it's like Sanjon said earlier, different age groups. I remember when I did our cohort, it was 17 to 24, and I was actually 23 at the time, you know, so I was much older than most of the people there, but I still felt comfortable being in a space with some people who maybe have been like 7 years younger than me. Like we all at the end of the day felt like we were in a space where we can learn from each other. And like said, even back to the last question, we were able to network. But yeah, it was really, to me, very important as a creative, just having therapy, mental health incorporating into the arts, because like I said, to answer when I was answering the previous question, like art as a whole operates differently than other fields. And the reality is a lot of art industries, many times artists deal with burnout, like film especially. That's a field where you can't predict your schedule. You're set, you come in, they're like call time 7 o'clock, you're there 7 a.m., you may leave 2 a.m. when the whole project's done. Also to art supplies are expensive. Like there's layers to like the things that artists go through. And a lot of times artists too, in their backgrounds, like they're discouraged from studying art or having access to art in their neighborhoods or even their schools. So it was just good to have a mix of two things that aren't really accessible: access to software, access to classes, but also access to therapy, to check-ins. So I think it's very important that I was, you know, had access to all this, and also to just knowing that programs like this exist. And like, it's a pretty like, you know, accessible. It's just that, yeah, I feel like it was important too, because it's an internship. Most people think of internships as, oh, just a job, but like, they're also ways of learning. So like TAP, I feel like did all of the above in terms of that.
Right. No, I agree. Especially when you said art, the art industry as a whole, a lot of people face burnout. I can definitely relate because during the time while I was at TAP, I was also working. So I was working 60 hours a week, and you know, uh, in the film industry. But you know, burnout is so real, and if you don't take time to talk to someone or just give yourself like self-care days, like Sundays are my absolute self-care days. Do absolutely nothing. Like go for a walk outside, take pictures of birds and stuff like that. That's what I do on Sundays specifically. But like have that time for yourself. Have that time to decompress. They sometimes you might get calls like, "Hey, can you work on the weekend?" Now, could be good opportunities for some people, but personally me, I'm like, no, cannot. So sorry, because then you're gonna want to like, you're gonna be so exhausted. You're gonna be like, oh my god, when do I have time for myself? And then you're gonna probably end up growing to like dislike what you're doing when you started out liking it. So just always give that time. Hold on, someone commented in the chat. I went through burnout before. Any tips on avoiding and recovering from it while being under pressure? Yeah, so for I feel like it differs for a lot of different people. For me, specifically, it's just having 1 day a week to myself to decompress, um, and go on a long walk, and take photos and do just things that I love to do. And that's my day Sunday. And if you're actually ever really struggling, um, in work, that you feel so frustrated and you feel so burnt out, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you might have a coworker here and there in which you can confide in, and they are very helpful as well. And to provide you with like shortcuts or any like shortcuts in work, not shortcuts to half-ass it, but shortcuts to like, make your stuff go quicker or make it more efficient, because you might be doing something super complicated that made you feel so burnt out. Um, but be honest with yourself and how much you can take on. Don't take on everything trying to impress the people around you at work. Do what you can and be honest about it. And you will find within yourself that you don't face as much burnout, taking on too many things. I don't know, Melly, Sanjona, if you want to add on anything.
Um, I I've been through burnout too, because I just feel like I felt happy when I was being productive, when in reality it's just it wasn't okay for me to be productive all the time. But what I learned recently is that you don't have to impress your colleagues or your supervisor or anyone. You kind of have to do your best, and separate your work life from your own life. Uh, don't make it a competition. Don't make a, I know it's hard to not do that because everyone's just trying to reach for the top. Everyone's hustling, and you could feel left out, seeing everyone go up, up, and up. But everyone's pace is not, no matter how much you try, it's just everyone's pace is different. Everyone will be in different position in their life. So sometimes you just have to slow down and really not care about anyone or anything else, anyone else's happiness, or just, you just have to, um, you know, just take some time for yourself and try to make yourself happy and impress yourself, I guess. Yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah, we're both saying a lot of points that I resonate with and agree with because honestly, I noticed from very young, I'm a workaholic in the sense where it's like, especially being a creative who just does so many things. I'm very passionate, so it's like I always think I can do this. Okay, so like I can draw this thing right now. I can do some photos. I can do this editing, and then also my work, like and like I said, education. Education is a lot of lesson plans, a lot of adaptability. The reality is I'm human. I have to accept that you can only do so much in a day. So what I've been telling myself recently, actually, I make sure that when I come home, I just wind down. I watch TV, I'll take a walk, I'll draw, I'll do what I can in a limited amount of time because, everybody has different schedules. I have a schedule where it's very flexible in the sense where it's like I do prep at home remote and then I work in person I work at 5 schools, so it's like different place every day, a different schedule. But the reality is if you have such a hectic schedule too, like a lot of people, like even when I was in school, like I had 2 majors and I was working a job and then at a point I had an internship as well. That's a lot. That's a lot. So always try to have, I emphasize 2 days. That's why, most that the average work week is Monday to Friday, which I think I wish it was even Monday through Thursday, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet in America. But I always tell people who I see with hectic schedules, like I get it. We want to graduate, we need money to survive, but also too, you can't have all that if you're not here anymore. So you have to make sure you take care of yourself. So also too, very basic things that I'm trying to work with, like making sure you eat properly, making sure that you're rested, that you're hydrated. That's the way that you can also like avoid burnout by just making sure that you're taking care of your body as much as you can. Realistically, sometimes we can't always, sometimes you have to adapt. You figure out, oh my God, I have to stay up later to finish this homework assignment, or oh my God, I have to stay at work later to get this task done. But since you know you did that this week, make sure that next week, okay, you take some time for yourself. Some people are outgoing, like I'm a very outgoing person, but even times two up, sometimes like, Melly, you're very exhausted, stay home or leave early, leave early. Like you just gotta like have boundaries and talk to yourself. And even too, like we were talking about this with the mental health aspect of TAP and just how we were able to, be comfortable advocating for yourself. So that's something I'm learning too. As somebody who was pretty shy growing up, I was kind of like nervous to speak to higher ups, but I feel like TAP and like a few other jobs that I had in the past really helped me to grow. So like that's why I emphasize things like networking, talking to different people, because it helps you to break out of that habit and that voice in your head that's just telling you, what if they say this? What if, but reality is you have to be honest sometimes to like your higher ups or even your professors. Tell them, okay, I'm having a challenge here. Not everybody may be understanding that's the reality, but at the same time, at least you tried, you let them know. Because like I said, it's not going to benefit you, your art, if you're not okay, if you're not resting. So like I said, it's a challenge every day for myself and like my peers, but that's the best way I recommend trying to just avoid burnout, is just like looking at different aspects. How can you adapt to it? And also scheduling helps a lot. Trying to at least schedule, okay, this is going to be my time to wind down, or this, I'm going to give myself an hour to work on this project every day. Like trying to set some type of schedule, even if realistically you can't. Like I said, with my role, I always try to schedule out my time of, well, okay, this is prep, but realistically it changes every week. It changes. It's just, that's just the nature of my industry that I'm in right now, which is education. But it's going to be different, for every person.
And I definitely want to get a few more questions in. So everyone, you can just start dropping your questions below. But when you were talking about scheduling, a question popped up about scheduling. So a bit before. So Rebecca said, whenever it's application season, like now, I feel like I always feel a pressure to apply to anything I hear of abruptly, even when it takes a toll on my personal schedule and stresses me out. Any tips on how to manage / prioritize opportunities?
I could go, and you're welcome, Diego. I just saw your comment. I would say, as somebody, I keep saying as somebody, like yes, it's my experience, but I noticed like specifically when I just had graduated out of college, I was applying to so many things. First, I started applying to what I was looking at as the ideal entry role. So for that was social media coordinator, because I had an internship in my senior year and I realized, okay, I'm really good at this. I like this. This is fun. I could see me connecting different skills that I have, right? But then I realized this field is extremely competitive. And even if you have portfolios, you got your references, recommendation, all that stuff, it's still going to be hard because certain industries are just like that. So then I started trying to expand my search to different things. And then I realized while applying to every single of these jobs, some of these applications honestly are absurd in the sense that they demand a lot but may not give you back the same thing. Like maybe you're applying to a very intensive, like a place, not where the application's intensive, like you have to have this in your portfolio, you have to do 2 interviews, 3 interviews, and then you realize, okay, this role, it's only part-time, or it's not much benefit. So I feel like that's a good rule of thumb in terms of like trying to figure out how many things to apply to. Because of course, like every season is different. You may notice like this is a good time of the year. I think I've heard this too, like in terms of animation around this time. I know with education, a good time is like late spring because like summer is about to start the fiscal year, and then you start teaching in September. But I recommend just looking at every application and being honest with yourself. Like, do you feel like if you apply to this, is it worth it? In the sense where, like I said, some jobs, this is a very big company, it's a big connection. You know, I agree, take that risk. You never know. Like a lot of us have fears that places will deny us, but you never know what opportunity is going to miss you. However, there's also in that aspect, there's so many places where it's like, I honestly stopped applying mid application because I'm just like, you're asking for too much for not, like, I may even be overqualified for that. And I'm like, that doesn't add up, you know? So I would say don't apply to every single thing, but also to like, you know, we gotta eat, you know, we need to get opportunities. So if you're applying to, like, say you notice you're applying to like 20 applications a week, you could cut that down to like 10, you know, it's not gonna necessarily mean that it's gonna be like twice as hard to find work, you know, then those numbers are kind of like, I feel like it's just fate in a sense. So like, even if you apply to 2, you may get that one job, even if you only applied to 2, you know?
Thank you for the answer, Melly. I think those are really great advice, and I also followed some of the advice you gave. Since we're almost like at the end of time, not that close, but kind of close. I'm gonna take Lavender's question, and then there's question from Maya. So Lavender, you can go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Hi. I have a very quick question. I know you guys mentioned that the ages, like it caps off at 24. Is that like a hard cap off? Because I'm 25 and I've never heard of this program before. And like with everything that you guys are sharing, it just seems really interesting. And particularly the training program. So I just wanted to know like if that's like a hard requirement or not.
So sorry.
Go.
As far as I know, TAP can be lenient because they did take younger and a little bit older than the age range when I was doing the virtual intensive program. I think they just want to know if you really are invested in it and you really are interested in their program. That's what they want to see, but I want you to try anyways, you know, you never know. So I'll let Millie talk about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, midway, like while we were in our cohort, I think they were mentioning changing that number to 30. Don't quote me on that. But also too, there were like previous like alumni who came back to the program. So I remember I was 23 going on 24. I feel like there was somebody who was turning 25 that was, yeah, there were some people that were like slightly older than me, but it could be maybe because they returned. But I feel like you're so close to that shouldn't have, you know, but don't quote me on that. But if anything, I feel like still definitely connect with TAP. Let us know. What's, no, don't worry. Also, too, your
Yeah,
name is
definitely
beautiful. Names after colors are
agreed.
amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you guys for your answers. I'll definitely give it a shot then whenever TAP opens it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And we're gonna post like TAP's information and how to get in contact with them. So you should definitely reach out as soon as possible. But they're very lenient and all nice. So I'm pretty sure you'd be able to. So yeah, but yeah, so on to our next question from Maya. What are your thoughts on companies giving animation or art tests for job applications? What are some tips or things to look out for?
Um, I could go first, I guess. I did start off with the dream of becoming animator, but I did finish the intensive program, but then I slowly was thinking I'm gonna do film. I don't know, that might change too. You know, life is actually long, I think. It's not short, it's pretty long.
So
Um,
you can I things I was like both. They connect. You can do both.
yeah. So So what I think is really important when you're showing your work to companies is that uh, don't think you're less than anyone else, because you probably have something that you don't even know how important it is, how unique it is. And if you feel scared to show that, you might lose a wonderful opportunity. There's always someone out there who will love your work, because of how unique it is. So don't be scared, no matter how you think it's little work, or like um I feel like it's really important, the thing, quality over quantity. So even if you think you have like not that many work to show, just go ahead anyways, because you'll never have enough work to show. It's never enough. Any So that's what I think, what helped me as an artist.
Yeah, I'll be honest in terms of like the whole test, because I've been through this before. I don't like it. It's just like I feel like we went to school, we did tests, like the portfolio and the resume should be the only test. That's my 2 cents on that. But my tips in terms of just that is definitely like Sanjona was saying, don't feel limited or pressured like to compare, because like you never artists, I always tell my students this all the time when they compare their work to each other. Art is subjective. You really don't know what a person may think. And even them just seeing your art can even open their eyes. Maybe they have one perspective of something, boom, they see your art. So like definitely just establish in your portfolio what's your niche. Like it's funny me saying this because like I do so many things. So even with each art medium, I have my own niche. We're trying to decide what it is, because it's like sometimes like for instance cartooning, I have different styles whether I'm doing digital or traditional. But even then, look at it like that, in the sense where that makes you versatile. You can do different styles, or even if you have, you feel like, okay, I've only been drawing for a year, or I've only been like animating for that, like timeline, don't let timeline dictate you. Even if job applications, like sometimes they're like, you need 2 years of experience or you need a degree, but sometimes then you can still get hired even if you don't meet every single qualification. It's your art that's allowing you to like bypass all that. So still be motivated, just still put out like I've learned to just put out things, even with art competition challenges, even if they didn't pick me, I still was glad that I entered, because like there was always a chance. There's no chance if you don't enter, if you don't apply, but if you at least do it, it can help you out.
Yeah, I agree. Don't like tests, but I do think they should really follow the portfolio. I mean, you share your portfolio. Usually it is your portfolio they look at in order to give you, if that's what they're looking for, and to give you the job. I have not been in a job interview where they have just started giving me an art test. I think I probably would have just been like, I don't know. I probably would have been like, that's not for me. But no, they mostly ask like, oh, are you familiar with this software? Oh, are you familiar with this software? It's not really like an art test within, at least it shouldn't be. They should really be going based off your portfolio from my experience so far. But yeah, it's just mostly, are you familiar with the certain softwares? And be honest. Sometimes honesty is not always the best policy when it comes to, if you are, for example, just a quick story before we wrap up, because I know it's getting to that time, or it is that time, but if you are working in Avid or Maya, and then they ask you, hey, we couldn't find someone to do our rolling credits or something, can you do it? Not paying you extra, and we need you to do this, this, and this. Don't stretch yourself too thin, because then you're volunteering yourself for free now and you're not getting paid for the other work. But be honest about what software that you can use when you are actually applying to a job, because you don't want to say you can do rigging and you don't even know the first thing about rigging when you're a 3D modeler. So that's about it. I hope that helps, but I don't want to take up any more of anyone's time. It is 7 o'clock, 7:01, and it's time to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. The animation, I know, Sanjona, you posted the TAP's Instagram and stuff like that. Feel free to reach out through TAP. I will put my LinkedIn, Melly, Sanjona. I don't know if you guys want to put your LinkedIns, but feel free to reach out to us. I am always willing to answer any questions, as well as these two on my right and left. I don't know if I'm on your right and left, but yeah, thank you all for coming. I really enjoyed talking to everyone, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna drop my LinkedIn right now.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Alrighty, yeah, that should be all of our links. Thank you guys for coming. And when you guys are ready, not kicking you out, feel free to talk with us still. I'll be on the line. But you guys can start filtering out. Holla.
Oh, you're muted.
Okay, I started kicking people out because I was like, yo, but oh my god, it's still recording. Yo, I did not mean to curse. I was like, oh my god.
Wait, cut the recording off. Cut it.
Oh, how do I stop this?
I forgot.
Nelson.
I think I can. No, I can't stop it.
I'm about to
I
say,
don't know how to stop that.
I really
Well,
guide you without
hope-
seeing the screen. Wait, share the screen. I don't know. Maybe you share your screen. I don't know.
Nelson, stop the recording. I don't know how to stop it. Okay, record on this view. I don't know how to stop this recording.
Wait,
It's
Nelson,
cool. I got it. Congratulations, guys. Good luck. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Nelson. I accidentally cursed in the middle of the presentation.
I mean, things happen. Everyone's an adult. That's cool. Was anyone there?
I was.
12? I don't think so. So I think we're good.
Is this getting posted on YouTube?
I don't know how that works because it's for Brick. I assume they will ask for that. If that's the case, we can just edit it and bleep that out or something, and we should be okay.
Yeah, it's like it's like a tiny one, but I covered my mouth, and then towards the end, we just started chatting. So if that small end part could be, cut out too.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah,
Don't
this
worry.
was really chaotic. This was the first panel without like Natasha and then Stephanie.
Yeah,
and we're just all on
I'm
our
sweating
own.
bullets.
I came in and out multiple times, and you guys did fantastic. So it was really, you guys should all pat yourselves on the back. It went really well, and you had a bunch of people, and yeah, so seriously, great job. And yeah, don't stress out, don't worry. This isn't live. This isn't going on YouTube right away or anything like that. So we're all good.
Okay, cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, thanks guys. Y'all really held it down for real because I was going through some technical difficulties over here and I was getting so nervous because all I could hear was people leaving and I was like, oh my God.
They were leaving at some point. I was like, are they all gonna leave? It's just gonna be us.
Yeah, and I
No.
have headphones on, so I just hear dun, 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 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't really focus on this script right now.
Well, I would say keep in mind that Brick is going on right now, so there's multiple panels. So probably what's happening is people were leaving and checking out other things, and I noticed also people were coming in pretty late. So I think people were doing that all throughout the hour. So I wouldn't feel bad about that or anything. I don't think it had anything to do with you. I think they were just literally checking out what was going on at the same exact time.
Right. All right.
Links and I realized it was telling me to leave the meeting. So I thought it was just like a link to like an educator panel, but I didn't realize it was actually going on now. I was like, oh, let me
Yeah. There's so many other things going on too at the same time. So yeah. But again, thank you again for to all of you for doing this. I think you did a fantastic job, and yeah, I'll let you know what happens with the posting. It'll probably get edited a bit, and then we'll send it to Brick, but you'll get that link, and then you can take a look and share it with everybody.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Great job, everyone. We did it. Hey.
Yay. Excellent work.
Nelson.
I didn't do anything. All I did was open a link and step away to feed my kids. So y'all did all the work.
Listen,
Thank
you
you.
were there. You were there. That's what matters. Because without you
was
opening
here
this,
to comfort
yeah,
us.
exactly. Without
I
you
did.
opening this link,
Oh, when you were there.
I was here a couple of times, like probably 4 or 5 times, listening for a few minutes, and then my daughter, who's 3, would be like, "Daddy, can we watch another Bluey?" And then I'd have to set that up. So, but I was
I
here.
love Bluey.
Isn't Bluey so good? It's such a good cartoon. I love Bluey.
Yeah, I started watching it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think I've seen every single episode like 3 or 4 times.
I'm like,
It is, yeah.
Tune in and out, but like, yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. All right, well, I don't want to keep y'all. I'm gonna end this chat, and the recording will end. And thank you again.
Of course.
thank you so much. Later.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Have a good night.